Okay, let me proceed with this topic by reading the manifesto that I had written that I put on the meetup description. So this is where a few days ahead of time, I am writing, guided by my soul, getting in a flow of my own strength of being, I'm a spiritual teacher because I love spiritual learning. So, whatever is your strength, you want to be channeling. You want to be in a flow of receiving and giving, receiving and sharing. So, this was an intense week for me to be in this topic of deep healing to be done with narcissists, bullies, and martyrs. I mean, I've dealt with these kind of issues, thought about them a lot my whole life. And what was interesting, what happened for me this week, because I get these topics from spirit, and I just know that, like, okay, something's going to happen this week. I'm being vulnerable. I'm going to share what comes up for me. But yeah, what happened this week, it was really kind of funny, and it shows the symbolism of life and the how much life can be seen as, you can see it as against you or you can see it as for you. Basically what happened was for the whole week, I was in a crisis of a full body allergy that I didn't know what was happening. It was all because I tried a cheaper brand of soap, this cute little pink bar called Caress. It's like, oh, Caress, it's pink, it's scented, this is going to be so nice. I've never been so allergic to something in my whole life. I don't have allergies generally, but in a few days, I was full body hives. I was like, freaked out, like my body was just in a state of attack alert, and I couldn't think straight, and I couldn't figure out what it was. It took me a few days to realize, like, oh, maybe it's the soap. I had to go see a doctor. So basically, like, I had a whole week of my negative beliefs attacking me, saying how bad and wrong I am, combined with the caress that wasn't a caress for me. I'm not putting down this company, this brand, but for me, it was really bad. It's like, so that's the thing in life. You really want to respect your own sensitivities. When something is really not right for you, respect that, and that will help you get back on the track. And feel that your body is helping you. Your body is sending you signals that something is going on. Physically, the physical sensations, the emotions that go with it, the thoughts that go with that, they're all manifestations of our beliefs. And we are here on earth to deal with learning how to sort out the beliefs that are not right for us and the beliefs that are good for us. That is the journey. That is the mastery. Once we master our false belief systems and be able to pick true beliefs, we'll get the true friends, we'll get the true supports, and that universe will come through with that true, direct, loving support that is always there for us, that is ready to guide us around the problems in life. So let's get into this topic of, I'm going to read the manifesto, see what you get from it. Deep healing to be done with narcissists, bullies, and martyrs. And I'll annotate as I go along here. And for one thing, I thought it was kind of a pun. It was like, am I deep healing to be done with? Does that mean I do the healing with the narcissists, bullies, and martyrs? Or is this healing so that I'll be done with them and I never have to deal with them again? Yeah, it's the latter. That's what I meant. Okay. But it's also kind of an interesting pun, double meaning, because the narcissists, the bullies, and martyrs, there's an energy in us that we need to own. There is some reason why we have been sensitive to these issues. We need to master the fact. Here's a basic concept to be understood, and this is why the idea of letting go, letting people be who they are. In order to have any experience in any reality, we have to incarnate, we have to buy into it in some way. We have to have a part of ourselves that is actually adapted to and believes in and exists in the situation already. So this is why we're so vulnerable to any kind of abuse. If we were just walking cold into a situation and somebody said something like absurdly abusive to us, we'd just be like, hey, you're crazy. That has nothing to do with me. I'd walk out. But it's because we already have some kind of buy-in, some kind of reason to be in that situation. A part of ourselves has already agreed to it in some way. That's why we can struggle. That's why we can be hooked for so long. That's why the spiritual path is so humbling, because we start looking inward and realizing, like, okay, as much as these people are obnoxious, How do I do something like that? Where is my buy-in? Where is my hook? I'm not saying that I'm a bad person, because I'm also not saying they're a bad person. I'm saying everybody's a victim of negative beliefs. Where do I have some negative beliefs? Where do I have some buy-in? This is the only way to really be done with any kind of abusive people, relationships, any kind of beliefs that are abusive. We have to take the personal responsibility. Where did I agree with that? Where did I do some of that kind of behavior? Where did I think some of those kind of things were true? That's where we get to the level of when you really take a responsibility, when you really own the way in which you did some of that stuff, that you thought, for myself, there were certainly times when, like, hey, I don't like violence. I don't like, dominating people. I don't like people like who tell me what, people, the main thing with narcissists, right, is that they're controlling. It's all about the control. All the negative personality types, there's a lot of control. I got to control the other person. So they tell you what to think. They tell you what your life means. They tell you what you need to do. And they will tell you all the threatening, awful things that will happen to you if you don't do what they tell you to do. So I was very clear in my life. I'm going on a whole tangent before I even read what I was going to read there, but I was very clear, like, I don't like dominating behavior, but then I had to start owning it. Where do I get dominating? And then I had to admit, like, look, I really care about the world. I really want spiritual healing for everyone, and I can be pushy with it. And you see a lot of that in the world today. You can see really well-intentioned people, but they are also dominating. It's like, hey, they don't want to be a dictator, but they can't wait to, like, let's somehow make everybody be peaceful. How do I get everybody to be nice? You got to let go. That's the idea of the letting go. It's like, drop it. It's like, not everybody wants to be nice. Not everybody wants to even hear the ideas that inspire you. Not everybody wants to even try. So that's where you need to realize some people you just let them go. Some people you just give up on because they've given up on themselves. And that's when you realize that, but I'm in anguish. I feel for that person. When you're in anguish and feeling for someone who doesn't even want your help, who demonizes you, who fights you, or tries to control you and abuse you, that's when you realize, I've got a projection there. There's a part of me that's suffering, and I'm projecting it on them. I'm thinking that I can rescue them and relieve their suffering. No, I got to relieve my suffering. So this is back to the oxygen mask first. I've got to find the part of me that's been going along with all this suffering, because once you heal yourself, you can have much more of a neutral attitude to people. You can have a compassionate, like, as my soul likes to say, Carl, you can love anyone from the right distance. Give yourself the right distance, the safety you need, and you can have a compassionate view of everyone, and you can just let them be. Because hey, I've got my soul guidance. I'm connected to the universe. You've got a soul. You've got your connection to the universe. You need to find it for yourself. I can't live your life and solve your life for you. You can't live my life and solve my life for me. And I spent a lot of my life trying to solve other people's problems because there were parts of me that I was in denial of and running away from. I was hoping maybe if I fixed them, they would stop abusing me and my victim sides, my hurt sides would go away. It's like, no, I had to deal more directly with my hurt side. So that's the kind of responsibility one takes. And that's when you get into the weird situations, full circle to my little story of, like, this week with the, full body allergy to a soap that I thought would have been good for me. If you're having a really traumatic situation that, even when you try to remove yourself, your body, your whole emotions, you've internalized the internal critics, and you're in a lot of anxiety. I want to talk about that. But, you're in a lot of anxiety, and anxiety, there's the repetitive behavior. You're trying to fall back on strengths, but your strengths become weaknesses when you do them obsessively, and it doesn't fix things because you need to do something else. That's when you realize, like, I need to take responsibility. And that's when you'll be really done with the abusive characters in life, is when you can be more connected to the source and heal yourself. So, deep healing to be done with narcissists, bullies, and martyrs. See what you get from this. It's time to set ourselves free. Humanity can be done with the abusive personality types forever. How? By not waiting for other people to do what we wish they would. You have your own way of doing everything to keep you safe. You don't need somebody else's permission to live the way that you want to live. You have the divine creator source inside of you as much as it is everywhere else. And that's the main problem that we're all experiencing, is people don't feel that they have the source in them as much as everyone else. So we think like, well, for my life to work, I've got to go to other people. I've got to do what they did, and then I can't, so I feel inadequate, or I got to do what they tell me to do. And it's like, no, you have the source in you as much as anywhere else. You can have solutions come to you, and your own synchronicities, your own intuitive guidance, your own friends, true friends. There's a path for you. You've got to believe in that. All of humanity's suffering is based on false negative beliefs that someone else must have the power you need. So then victims wait while abusers hate. I thought that was a cool phrase that came to me while I was writing this. Victims wait while abusers hate. And no matter how much time goes by, that false belief will never be true. So join us this Sunday, October 12, 2025, for a free liberating look at just how weak negativity really is. Because when you really understand how weak negativity is, you won't keep trying it. You won't keep buying into it in some way. There's some level at which we think, well, it's awful, but it's going to work. It's going to help me survive. No, it's a slow train wreck. It's killing you. When you really see how things are killing you, you will drop it automatically, because you do, at a deep level, want a happy life. You are not some kind of death wish, freak, accident of the universe. No, you are built to succeed. You need to tap into that source you that totally will guide you to thriving. So you will discover how powerful you are, and you let yourself come alive. We've all had experience with abusers, and it's not because we did anything wrong to deserve the abuse. No one deserves abuse. On contrary, the foundation of life is that everyone deserves to be successful. Every chance they need, as many chances as you need to figure things out to have a wonderful life. That's what the universe will give you. The abusers want us to think that we're hopelessly weak, so then we'll let them tell us what to think, feel, and do. That's a whole negative version of life that keeps you negatively reacting to feed the negativity. So there's something we're doing that's negative that feeds and keeps us hooked into the negativity. When you're totally positive and self-healing, you just have no connection. You're like, I see that person, I see what they're doing, I have nothing to do with that. You're just automatically going to gravitate to what would help you. So congratulate yourself. Don't, remember, the positive side is being positive, is being a friend with yourself. Whenever you find something that helps you, coming to this meeting today, having the feelings you have, having whatever insights, congratulate yourself. Good job, good job. You always want to congratulate the positive. So in that sense of taking abuse, you can do something wrong. But that's it. You've also done something extraordinarily right to even be here. You just need to understand that the purpose of your journey here is to reclaim your true power. You came to Earth. Congratulations. Oh, gee, thanks. Well, yes, the Earth is a place of terrible suffering, more so than any other, maybe not any other, but many places in the universe. But Earth is also a place of fantastic pleasures and prosperity, more than many other places in the universe. And we can see that in how just rich and diverse the Earth's thriving ecosystems are. Earth is really abundant in life. If you're into ETs, for example, a lot of ETs have some form, some connection with an Earth creature. That's because the Earth is so generous. It already has all the forms of life shown, demonstrated that they can coexist. The Earth is a template for coexistence that many ETs, many beings around the universe are looking at, because, wow, look at that amazing planet and the people who go there. It's like they are really figuring it out. So how do we ensure we end up on the healthy, fun side of life? Because it is there. Well, believe it or not, you can simply choose for yourself. The source in you is all the power you need to realize what you like and don't like, to get to know yourself better, and just choose more of what's right for you. Abusers fear the power of your own choice because they know you would choose to leave them. They would be left alone to their own misery. So a major point of abuse, of negativity, is to convince you that you're powerless, you need them, you can't just choose for yourself. when that is false and negative. You can absolutely choose everything for yourself. I want a peaceful world. I want world peace. Great, you can have it. Will I be there immediately? No, but you can have steps of experiencing world peace. With the source is always with you. You can be guided peacefully around all the problems in the world today. You can have a peaceful understanding of everything. You can have compassion at a safe distance for everything. Your life, the earth you experience, can become heavenly tomorrow, now, today, just because you are so guided and so loved. It doesn't have to objectively change. It can subjectively change. So there's no need to feel sorry for other people and stay with them any longer, because they have their own power to choose a better life. As they say, God doesn't make mistakes. The universe has already designed everyone to be totally successful forever. Solutions are always available from the present moment, so it's simply not possible to get stuck or lost. Now, that may be hard to imagine at the human level, where we do live in time and space to create story experiences for what's true and what's false. That's how we use time and space. So don't think of time and space as limitations or enemies. You lose things. No, you're creating stories, experiences of what's true and false. So if something doesn't work out, it's not because life is against you, time and space are a problem. It's because you discovered something that's false. That's all. So as many mystics and physics know, time and space are simultaneous projections from an eternal now. Everything you ever need will always be available to you, energetically first, and then physically manifest when you need it. So whenever you need, the universe already has the universe has already had forever to plan the perfect solution for you, because it's all simultaneous and eternal. So whatever you imagine in time and space, all that may take time to work out, the universe already has a perfect solution for you. In fact, you would not even be able to imagine needing something if it weren't already available to you. So your needs and desires are signals that something wonderful is calling you now. So all of the emotions of like, oh gosh, I need this, I won't get it, like any thoughts that say that, simply not true. If you need something, it's because it's already available and calling you. It's saying, come over here. You're going to learn more about how wonderful life is, how much of the universe loves you. Go ahead, be brave, ask for what you need, look for it. It's there. It's available. It's back to Jesus, like knock and the door shall be opened. Ask and it shall be given. It's there for you. So abusers, abusers don't want you to think that you can live without them, but you always can. The secret to having your own happy path forward is mastering the belief systems that determine your emotions and reactions. Your beliefs are driving your emotions and reactions. So use your reactions and emotions to find the beliefs that are a problem, and you can change them. Don't keep reacting and being emotionally perpetuating obsessive. That's what anxiety is all about. That the anxiety is holding on to a false belief and trying to make it work, so you keep doing the same emotions, the same reactions, the same strengths become weaknesses, obsessive, all that. When you notice like, hey, I'm just spinning my wheels, it means you got to go back and find something that wasn't true that you were hoping would be true, because that's a major point of false beliefs. They promise things that will never work. Like you'll get to peace by having wars. No, wars never lead to peace. Peace leads to peace. Positive things lead to positive things. If you're in something negative, you don't have to perpetuate it. You can just stop and feel it and notice and get back to the false beliefs that you can change. You have that creator consciousness. You can choose what to believe. You can choose what you like, starting with being your own best friend. So, true positive beliefs show the goodness of life, so that you can be happy and thrive, while false negative beliefs tell abusive lies to make you give up and die. Your human self is built to seek happiness naturally. So by gathering your own experience and opinions, you are guaranteed to find your own way to live long and prosper. Little Star Trek. Remember Vulcan, live long and prosper. Anyway, so for this meetup, recall some abusive people you've known, both near and far. What did they do or say that most upset you? And of course, one thing abusers will say is, well, that shouldn't bother you. No, it bothered you for a reason. You are who you are. So treasure, notice and treasure, respect talk to yourself, listen to yourself about what people did that really bothered you. Notice your reactions, emotionally and physically. Are you desperate? Are you feeling desperate for a way to stop them? As if their lifestyles must affect you? They never have to. You can always have a disconnect. You need to get back to a feeling of, I can take care of myself. What can I do to make me feel less desperate to change them? Trying to change other people is a dead end. You will never be able to change other people. Everybody is their own sovereign universe, their own sovereign free will, which means you are too. So go ahead, be with yourself, make your own decisions, care about yourself. What helps you to get back into your own values and gratitude? After some check-ins to share and relate, and that was beautiful, thank you, I'll explain the origins of negativity as the non-path of no self in contrast to your own eternal life. We will see how false negative definitions of your emotions keep you separate from the source in the 4 survival reactions of appease, freeze, flight, and fight. You will learn how to clear your own energy and separate your values from your abusers. And I will explain the 4 negative personality types and how powerless they really are. And I will conclude with a guided meditation to reclaim your own desires, to fully experience your own amazing human life. Well, that's a lot to promise and pack in the last 10 minutes before we're on the clock here. So, you know what? If I go over whatever, I need to cover a certain amount, and I'll keep it as succinct as possible. Certain highlights, certain concept I want to hit here, touch on. So let's get this across here. So for new folks, this is what the regulars see every time I draw the stick figure of you on the earth. This is your human self. You have a human self, and then you have a spiritual awareness self. This is where, when you accept yourself enough, be your own best friend, you can pop out of yourself and get some perspective on what's going on. So you have these 2 parts of you. You are built to be friends with yourself. A self-awareness and a decider, a spirit decider, I like to call it. Your deciding self and your experiencing self. You decide what you want to try next, you experience it, and you say, how was that for you? And you come back to your decider and you make choices. Do I change or continue? It's a basic cycle of being a creator. You can make choices and experience them and come back and make new choices. That is your sovereign right. You have every power and ability to do that for everything. You don't have to give up on anything. You can give up on the things that tell you to give up, right? The false negative beliefs that say you're not good enough, those beliefs aren't good enough for you. That's all. So, and then here's the source up here and your soul in the source. So the source, it's just a map to spread it out like this, right? We're saying really the source is within you. It's all around. It's everything. But it's a map. Life is a map. You spread things out. It doesn't mean they're actually separated. It's just a concept. It's being able to see everything from a height from a map. So, and then your soul is the version of the source, the universe that is you. You are the entire universe experiencing yourself from your position. So that means you have all the wisdom, all the love, all the generosity, all the solutions of the entire universe available to you for your particular situation. So you never have to give up. Solutions are available. Anything that tries to make you give up, that is negative, false. So your soul is constantly guiding you with intuition, with solutions, with energy. And if you were an animal, you would just follow your instincts, right? But you're not. You're a human being, and that's good. Don't feel bad that you are a free will being who can choose things and make mistakes. Just embrace that. That is the point. That is natural evolution. You become more of a creator instead of just doing what your soul tells you to do and being a thriving creature in an ecosystem. You can actually become a higher being. I can try things faster than, evolution would tell me to do. Evolution takes millions of years to get things in a perfect balance. Human beings can try something new tomorrow. They may kill them or may work. That's why you do it carefully and stay in touch with your body for the feedback of emotions and physical results to see how nature is working with you. But nature, believe me, nature wants you to be a creator who can make mistakes. It's okay. So, And when you rise above your human condition, that's when you can have more awareness of those 4 archetypal levels that we talked about. Great way to check in with yourself anytime is just think about, how am I doing physically in my physical body? How am I doing emotionally in my feelings? How am I doing mentally in my thoughts? And how am I doing spiritually in my values, my inspirations? These are 4 very basic archetypal levels. And the mental level, your thoughts, that's where you can dig in and find your beliefs. Your beliefs are not simply thoughts. Thoughts are more like, day-to-day kind of images of like, I think I want a drink of, orange juice. But the belief could be something deeper of like, I believe that orange juices would refresh me at this time. I believe, so your thoughts work with your feelings. Your thoughts are more at the physical level, but your thoughts and your emotions work together. Depending on what you think, you'll feel certain things. Depending on what you feel, you'll think certain things, right? They kind of go back and forth, hand in hand. You try to get to the bottom of the mental level. That's where you have your beliefs. Those are the ways you think the things work, the way your worldviews, your assumptions, your expectations, your commands even to yourself, like I will be this or that. Just the way you think things work. What makes sense to you? What happens? What explanations your mind jumps to? Oh, this happened. Oh, it must be because everyone's against me. Well, I don't really think that, but don't worry. Beliefs are not rational. Beliefs are very full of presumptions, very jumping to conclusions, especially the negative ones. Positive beliefs tend to be more balanced and reasonable. Positive beliefs will say something reasonable like, hey, there's people who are good for you and there are people who are bad for you. Let's look for the good ones and let's watch out for the bad ones. False beliefs are the ones that will say extremes of like, oh, everybody loves you, everybody's good for you, run out and embrace everybody. And then as soon as somebody does something backstabbing, then your false beliefs flip to the opposite and say, oh, everybody's bad for you. So false beliefs, they are full of extremism. That's something to look for in false beliefs. They're very extreme. Everything's good, everything's bad. So the people who are voting for dictators, they just think everything that person does is good. False. But then people who think that the dictators, oh, you're destroying my world, there's nothing I can do, like, oh my God, I got to try to kill you before you kill me, that's also false. You are empowered by the source in you, by true beliefs that would say, look, it is a dangerous world on earth, there are false beliefs to watch out for, but don't worry, you have the source in you, you are loved, you will be guided, don't worry, we'll show you a safe path through the world. So, and the spiritual level, that's where you connect with your soul and all of, what you're here to do, what really believe in, what most inspires you. You are a unique individual with gifts to give. So, as I was mentioning earlier, the idea is to get to that spirit level where you are friends with yourself. And so you're going to talk back and forth between what are my human experiences and what are my spiritual ideas, my self-help ideas, whatever, but never be alone in that. Never feel like, oh, I got to save the world. No, you're looking to be guided by the source. You'll have your own soul, your own version of the source, your own higher self, your future self, all the guiding parts of you and all your friends, other souls that network with your soul who send incarnations of themselves. You will meet people. Really interesting thing in life. The reality is meant to be limited. So many people want to make reality unlimitedly good or bad. It's like that's the extremism of false beliefs. It's like, oh, the world has to be all good. Let's save it tomorrow, or else the world is all bad. Let's destroy it tomorrow. It's like extremism. Now, the fact is, reality is always meant to be a collection, a collective of possibilities. You will find a range of things you like and things you don't like. Now, that doesn't have to be so extreme that like, well, the things I don't like would kill me and the things I would like would save me. It's like, no, you can get to a world, you can look forward to a future where everything's safe enough. It's just the things I don't like. I don't want to be a dentist. I want to be a park ranger. Or I don't want to be a politician. I want to be a parent or whatever. It's like there are things that are better for you than other things. You want to get to a world of good and better where everything is safe enough. It's just clearly there's a path for you. rather than a world we have today where, hey, you got to watch out. There are people who would just plain kill you. Okay, that's good and evil. That's pretty extreme. But reality will always give you a range of possibilities. It's always up to you to be getting to know yourself and your source, working on choosing what you like, that first belief level of there are things I like, how do I build on those, and be guided by my soul to become the unique individual I am. So I want to cover, the whole point of this topic, right, is to understand negative personality types. So let's look at, positive beliefs. So let's say that there are two paths in life. There are the negative beliefs and the positive beliefs. Okay, so the negative beliefs, they're going to take you down a path of, I talked about the blockage lifestyle. There's a blockage lifestyle, blockages, and an ideal lifestyle is the positive side. So ideal lifestyle is like, look, I'm a limited person, I accept that, and there are always higher beings who love me. It's fine. I'm fine that I can't do everything. I don't need to do everything. I have certain needs, certain abilities, and that's good enough. You're always good enough. You're always guided in the ideal lifestyle. The blockage negative lifestyle is one where, oh no, I got to be able to do everything, and I can't do everything. These people are who are against me. You just obsess on what is stopping you and how you can stop that. And you see that with negativity. It's all about, I can't even think about what's good for me. Maybe someday I'll be able to retire or have peace or whatever. But for now, I got to focus on my enemies. How can I stop all the things that are against me? That's negative thinking. You're feeding it by buying into it. Don't buy into it. So the blockages, if you buy into the blockages, you will develop your negative benefits, I'd call it. Negative benefits or adaptations. You will adapt. This is where, like, well, I can't do everything, but I'm going to be a bully, or I'm going to be a victim. I'm going to be I'm going to get to blame a lot. I'm going to get to, feel sorry for myself until someday all the problems are fixed. I'm going to be able to beg. I'm going to be able to be weak. I'm going to, all the games people play. You see we'll talk about the negative personalities, and you'll see how, all the games they play, that's negative energy. But that's all they can live on for now because they're down in the blockages. You got to get over to the ideal lifestyle, and then you would get to a level of principles. So instead of the negative benefits, all the little temptations that people take on the negative path, you would be on the side of principles where it's like, hey, I tell the truth as much as I can, or I love as much as I can, or I'm kind as much as I can be. You have principles. I'm going to do this, and I'm not going to do the wrong thing. You see negative people, they're very unprincipled. They may lie and say, oh, I'm going to do great stuff, but then they do whatever serves them. They'll hurt anybody, extremely unprincipled. Big issue in the United States today. Our principles are being broken left and right by people who claim to be pro-America, but they're obviously breaking every principle, every idea that the country was founded on. So if you keep going in the negativity, negative benefits, you get to codependencies. Because why? Because you've developed a negative lifestyle, negative benefits. Now you're going to meet other people and you're going to develop all these connections. Well, I'm always going to play the victim and weak and blaming. So somebody else who's always a bully and looking to pick on somebody, well, I'm fair game for them, right? So it's sad. I'm not blaming anyone. I'm just saying this is what happens on the negative path. And the final level you get to is diseases and all the emotional, physical, mental diseases, chronic anxiety, depression. It doesn't mean you're bad. It just means a part of you has gone down the negative path. On the positive path, you'd have ideals, principles, you'd have character. Character is when you try to do your principles all the time and you're doing your best. So somebody who has character is trustworthy. They don't just say nice principles. They don't just say they're honest. They actually follow through and do it as much as they can. And at the bottom level, you have integrity, including physical health, where you actually naturally, spontaneously, you do the right thing. Your body is functioning well for you. You're healthy. So rather than disease, you'd have health. So let's get to the big payoff here. as we run a little overtime even for the talk part, but the negative personality types. So at the blockage level, you get the rescuer. See, there's 4 drivers of negative behavior, and then we'll see how a narcissist is basically doing all of them. But the first level is the rescuer. It's like, oh, isn't that nice? You're trying to rescue other people. Well, no, people who are chronically like sacrificing and neglecting themselves to try to fix other people, something's wrong there. You know it, because they're trying to rescue. They're stuck in a blockage. They think something is impossible for themselves, but then they're trying to use their strengths to fix other people in hopes that those people will fix their problems that they can't fix. Becomes very codependent very fast, doesn't it? So rescuers, whenever you feel that anguish of like, oh my God, I gotta save this person. I can't stand seeing them in that pain. It's like, well, it's nice that you're an empath, but you're using your strength as an empath to ignore the part of you that's in pain, your self-healing that's needed first, and you're just going to try to rescue someone else. Not going to work. You're blocked. You got to get to the ideal side where it's like, look, everybody's guided. Everybody can rescue themselves. Take care of yourself first, and then the source will show you where you can honestly help someone else, as well as where you can be helped. Remember, it's a full system here. Over here in the positive, needs and strengths are both strengths. Everybody fits together. Whatever you need, somebody has to give to you, and whatever you have to give, somebody needs. It's beautiful to fit in, to be the answer to people's prayers, to be kindred spirits, to be in a community of where you belong. On the negative side, it's broken systems. False beliefs say it doesn't work, it's out to get you. So it's a broken system. People hide their weaknesses, even though you can see in plain sight. Like a lot of people, you can deny that you're an awful person, but I can see you're an awful person. So, but even the strengths become weaknesses. They become compulsions. They become the anxiety. It's like, I keep trying to do what used to work for me, but it doesn't work anymore. It becomes an addiction. Pleasures become addictions because I keep trying to do it over and over to comfort myself on a lifestyle that doesn't work. So rescuer, the first warning sign. The second warning sign is you become a bully. Because you find that I can't rescue other people. They're not listening to me. I gave them great ideas that I should probably practice for myself, but I'm not. I'm too scared, whatever. So, but I'm giving them great ideas. They're not listening. So you start becoming more forceful, more bullying. And I'm doing this for your own good, damn it. Just trying to force and dominate and rescue people against their will. That's a bully. And then the next one is a victim. It's like, well, it didn't work to try to rescue people. They wouldn't do what the great ideas I told them. It didn't work when I tried to bully them, try to dominate them, try to overpower them, try to convince them and argue. I guess now I'm just a victim of them. You know, it's just they run my life. They've determined that I can't function. No, what determines you can't function is you're holding on to false beliefs up here at a blockage level, not because you've gotten down to the codependency level. Now you're just playing out your false beliefs with other people who have their own false beliefs to keep you hooked together. Now you got to unhook and get back to the false beliefs to change. But then in the bottom level is what the martyr. A martyr is someone at the disease level. They're hopeless. They've given up. It's somebody who's just so bitter, so hopeless, so angry at life. And you can feel that. Actually, in your depression, in your dysfunction, in your, you know, if you're trying to be a nice person, you probably won't play a martyr very often. You'll be at the victim level of just like, I'm so hurt by the world, like, you know, but the way to start opening up that is to feel that you also have a martyr level. There's a level at which you are so angry, so bitter, so hostile. Damn those people. Damn those. They ruin my life. It's just, you can get into this rage, this hostility. And you realize, like, man, that's the kind of rage people grab a gun and go out and become a mass shooter. Well, you're not going to do that, right? But you are going to be your own best friend to listen to those feelings instead of staying at a martyr. The real negativity is staying stuck at any one of these levels. You'll start healing and becoming positive as soon as you start being your own best friend, listening to the feelings that come from these levels, and start moving up to change the beliefs because you are guided more and more by the positive side of the source, giving you positive beliefs and solutions. So, to conclude, a narcissist, and, you know, narcissist is psychology's way of talking about the devil. really, religion is early psychology. Religion talks about the devil. All the qualities of the devil are the qualities of a narcissist, of a sociopath, etc. But the devil always lies, has no power of its own, always makes false promises, always deceives, always is cruel, picks on victims, just takes pride and pleasure in like hurting people and knocking them down. That's what a narcissist does. And in politics, it would be the fascist. Fascism is actually a pretty recent modern invention. It used to be just authoritarianism. People just want to be a king, an emperor, kill your enemy, whatever, but you build your kingdom. Fascism is just plain like psychopathic, like self-destructive politics. Just like we are going to pick on victims and we're going to exterminate people until there's nobody left, until we're like divided and conquered. Fascists, they just end up killing themselves. It's absolutely self-destructive. It's because it's somebody who's come down these levels and sticks with them, stays with them, instead of facing it in themselves and healing it. A narcissist, at any time, you'll see that narcissists, sometimes they're hostile martyr, hating everything. Sometimes they're a victim. Poor me, you did it to me. No, you're doing it. A bully, they're dominating, they're bossing other people. And a rescuer, oh, I'm going to be the hero, support me, I'm going to save you all. No, you're not. You're a narcissist. You're going to destroy us all along with yourself. A narcissist is somebody who's denying how much they are on the path of self-destruction. They're going to destroy everyone else first. That's the pride of a martyr. I'm going to destroy everything else first. I'm going to be the last one standing. And another term for this in spiritual psychology, I'll just end on this point, is the negative ego. The positive ego is your human self. The positive ego is just your gentle, sweet human self who just wants to tell you how your choices worked out. You chose to believe that you're worthless, and your human self is like, that feels terrible, I can't do anything. And they're like, oh my God, I care about you. You're not worthless. I'm sorry, that was a mistake. That's a false belief. But a negative ego is when you stick to negative beliefs, false negative beliefs, your human being turns into a survivalism of just becoming nasty in all these levels, of all these, just I'll survive at any expense. So don't be afraid to face how much negativity you really have inside. It's not just, it's okay. It's okay. That's how you got into any reality at all. Like I said, you have to have some buy-in, some way of incarnating into a reality for there to be any experience. So don't feel bad that you have your ways of being negative too. Just calm it down, like calm down the reactivity, like comfort yourself, be your own best friend. You want to end the reactivity because honestly, each of us, we're in our own bubble of energy. And whatever you put out, you get back. It's like an echo effect. So if you have a lot of paranoia and you're like running from things all the time, there'll be other times where it bounces back at you, and there'll be like, you'll feel people or situations or thoughts are accusing you of things, paranoid of you. And so you see a lot with negative people. They just constantly reacting to their own stuff. They're putting out negativity. They're reacting to negativity. They're perceiving it. They're constantly reacting. So you got to calm down those reaction cycles. And the way to do that is just be with your human self. Respect your emotions and be with your human self so you can calm down and get some feedback. It's like, oh, this is what my decisions were doing to me. And then you can step back into the spirit level where you change some of those beliefs. It's like, oh, I get to know myself better. This is what I like. This is what I don't like. Separate your values. Let other people be different. And let other people be so different that some of them, you can't do anything for them. Don't try to rescue them. Just let them fade off into their own community, their own reality. You focus on what's right for you, your own path. That's the only way to work with the system of life. The source is always there. It's always a good universe. It's just, you got to tune into it around the pockets of false beliefs. See, negativity would love you to think that it's a big bad universe with little pockets of goodness, and you got to hold on to the goodness. And that's when people get obsessive and they develop addictions because they're always trying to do the one thing that was good for them, or they become, in their anxiety-driven behaviors, they're always trying to do the one thing that was their strength that becomes a weakness. That's because the negativity is trying to convince you it's a big bad universe and there are just a few little things that you got to hold on to. When, again, it's a false negative belief. The great thing about false negative beliefs is that they're false and negative. It's the reverse is true. What's true and positive is a great, beautiful universe with little pockets of false negative beliefs that you just need to see, and the universe will guide you. So you see a mile away. You see it coming, like, oh, that person, like, bad energy, like, I don't need to deal with them. And you work things out. You can self-heal. It'll be okay.